Thank you, Source. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening, and a shout out to those watching on the live stream. From the outset, I want to say that I consider it an absolute pleasure and an honour to be CEO of your club. I acknowledge the responsibility it carries, and I want to embrace and strengthen the connection we have with all of you as members and supporters. Since taking on this role and arriving in Adelaide in less than a year ago, I've been amazed by the extraordinary level of passion that exists for our club. It stretches well beyond game days, and it's often on show as we go about our everyday lives in the city. Having attended Adelaide Oval wearing rival colours in my previous role, I thought I had a good understanding for the thirst for footy in this state. I didn't. I seriously underestimated the passion, but now that my family and I are immersed in it, there's no doubt Crows members are right up there with the most loyal in this country. As you would know, there are always a lot of learnings when you start a new job, and there's a few that I picked up on very quickly. Possibly rule number one: avoid walking around Adelaide Oval wearing your Crows tie at a showdown when it's Port's home game. Let's just say I was given plenty of free advice. Rule number two was expect the unexpected. COVID-19 has created its share of logistical nightmares, and plus many, many more issues. As an example, that can include being told by the AFL that the entire football department has to move to Queensland, so you quickly jump off the call, start putting things into action, then shortly afterwards, you get another call to say things have changed, plans have changed. Now you're going to Melbourne, which is in lockdown. And worse yet, you have to get everyone on a plane within the next 2 hours. And you might be gone for up to 3 weeks. Things are often moving and changing from 1 minute to the next, but we've just handled it in our stride. With big crowds set to return, as John mentioned, we are determined to make our match day for round one something special. I hope to have some exciting news for you on that front in the next few days. I also ask you to encourage your family, friends, colleagues, neighbours, anyone who have not yet signed up as Crows members to do so. Now is the time to get behind this club, with the women's team flying and the men's team rising up the ladder. The members are the lifeblood of our club, and your commitment helps us push to be better on and off the field. It goes without saying, COVID-19 has changed the Australian sporting landscape in many and varied ways. Our staffing levels were cut by 40% at the outset of the pandemic, and this year we will start to rebuild our resources in an appropriate and considered way. In the short term, the focus will be on the recruitment of key strategic areas such as the football, membership and community departments. As you may have seen in recent weeks, we went to market for a couple of important roles, including an executive level position which will oversee and revamp our community programs. The AFL industry is a fast-paced environment, and I want to develop and strengthen a people-first culture. This will not only help us attract the right people, but also help us retain the talent and provide for better succession planning. We want people who are passionate and driven to take this club to the next level. Rest assured, there is already an incredibly hard-working and dedicated group who are turning up to work each day and trying to make this club the best it can be. Some of them are in the room tonight, and to all our staff, I would like to say a sincere thank you. I just touched on the need to further invest in our community area. Unfortunately, the pandemic forced all sporting clubs to scale back these types of activities and initiatives over the past 2 years. It's forced everyone to reconsider how we can best deliver community programs that make a meaningful difference. We have already committed a new initiative this year, such as a partnership with Reconciliation SA, which will see us assist in the delivery of anti-racism education in South Australian schools. Our STEM program continues to go from strength to strength and is making a real difference among children who are learning about science and technology, with a football as its central theme. We recently received further funding last week that will see us expand the program to the APY lands and other areas in the west of the state, targeting Ceduna and the far west coast regions. On-field results are where the club is quite rightly scrutinised the most. The rebuild of the men's playing squad is taking shape, and we should all be optimistic. Our core group of young players have now played between 25 to 50 games. They're growing in confidence together, and we expect further improvement in their performances. We have alignment in all levels of this club, from the board and the administration through to the coaches and the players. There is a shared faith in the direction that we are heading. All but 10 players are contracted beyond this season, a clear indication that there's buy-in and alignment of this group to have locked away that much of our talent before the start of the season. We are working to a very deliberate list management strategy, bring in as much high-end talent as we can via the draft, keep the group together, and then invest time and energy in developing these young guys as fast as we possibly can. We have now reached the stage that, when possible, we will target mature age recruits, like Jordan Dawson, who joined us in the off-season, to help make us even better. Having seen firsthand a successful rebuild at a former club, it's important that we stay the course with our strategy and understand there will be good times and some rough patches. Above all else, we must stick together and show patience at the right times. We have the right person in charge of the team. Matthew Nix is an outstanding senior coach with terrific values, and we'll hear from him shortly when he gives us a pre-season update. The positivity extends to our Sample team, where there is also a strong sense of connection. Mick Godden is experienced and a premiership-winning coach at state league level, and his team is an important talent pathway for us. Our women's team, as has been mentioned, had another outstanding win on the road on the weekend and currently sit on top of the ladder. No interstate trip is easy nowadays, and given Western Australia's border controls, the team was forced to stay at a Medi hotel. We also got the win without two of our absolute stars in Chelsea Randall and Erin Phillips, who are both out injured. It looks like an exciting few weeks are ahead for Matthew Clark and the team, and we are well placed for another run deep into the finals. It's a credit to all of those involved. With the AFL competition growing further next season, it's worth noting that league's rules are set up in a way to allow expansion teams to not only be competitive, but potentially flourish from the outset. This includes having the opportunity to sign players even if they're under contract at other clubs. Given the strength of our women's program, coupled with the depth and talent in our squad, which can be seen as major strengths, it makes sense that other clubs will come hard for our players. We are prepared for this and have shaped our list management strategy accordingly, with a view of minimising the loss of any key talent. While our football-first focus, quite rightly, is our strategy for the here and now, it's important we do not lose touch with our past and the achievements and people who helped make this club what it is today. This year we will stage a 25-year premiership reunion to reflect on the club's first flag in 1997. We want to make this a special event where our current players in particular can connect with those who wore the jumper before them. It's also about doing the little things right to ensure we protect and enhance the fabric of the Crows. In the bigger picture, we are all just part of the club's overall journey, and as players, coaches and staff, we must see ourselves as just custodians. We have had the likes of Bill Sanders come into the club recently to share insights with today's workforce, and there will be many more of those opportunities in the weeks and months ahead. Right now, it is our turn to make the place better and hopefully deliver the ultimate success that we all crave. All of what I've mentioned tonight is important to where we are heading. And as John mentioned earlier, building a world-class training, admin and community facility is high on the agenda. Along with winning games of football, it will be central to the new strategic plan which we have begun formulating for 2023 and beyond. This will be our roadmap as COVID impact starts to hopefully diminish and we can plan and execute with greater certainty. We are moving forward from a solid foundation, and there is a collective aim to remain financially independent of the AFL. We also know to have the support of people like you in the room and online tonight, as well as a long list of corporate and hospitality partners. In closing, there are exciting times in front of us, both on and off the field. We are building towards sustained success, and I'm sure you will all enjoy the journey. Thank you.